All praises to the Most High. How y'all doing and how y'all feeling? Peace and abundance. I hope right now you have a sound mind and you have a sound heart. It's your brother UncleK, and we're back with another video. So let's get into it. When a storm comes through, it destroys about everything in its path. And it takes a lot of years to rebuild, reconstruct, and to restore all the things that were broken, destroyed, or damaged. Now that's the same concept of practicing seed retention, chastity, sobriety, all good things that's going to put you in a realm of righteousness. We've all been through that storm where we've destroyed ourselves spiritually, mentally, and physically. And it's going to take a lot of rebuilding, reconstructing, and restoring to build up this vessel, to build up that spirit of the Most High inside of us. We're going to have to allow the spirit of the Most High to continue to guide us, restore us, and build us. It's a gradual process. It's not something that's gonna happen overnight. All good things take time. So when we look at it in that aspect, because we know for a fact if we're beings on this earth, I know for a fact that you guys seen storms that was televised. You guys possibly survived storms as well too, and even those even like slight little rainstorms, you guys see the type of damage that could be done, how trees can get knocked over, branches all in the streets, knocking over cars, um, power outages, little things like that. And we've seen a lot more catastrophic things happen around the world due to storms. And the storm that we are going through, the storm that we are overcoming, is a spiritual storm. And it's a storm that has a tremendous amount of power to overpower you, to overwhelm you, and to knock you off your feet. And it takes it takes a lot of rebuilding. That's the main concept of this video, that we must understand that we are constantly going through a rebuilding phase. When we came out the womb, things were completely different. We had a sense of peace, innocence. We may cry at times when we were hungry. We may be just a sense of purity, right? And now, in order to rebuild that, we must rebuild ourselves to the point that we can resist when another storm is approaching. So when another storm is approaching, we've built up our spiritual body, our mental body, our physical body, mind, body, and spirit, mind, body, and soul. We've built ourselves. We have rebuilt, reconstruct, restore our being in order to endure when another storm is brewing up and ready to come through and try to swipe out the nation, try to take out the people. We got to build ourselves up so strong to the point that if a strong wind is coming through, that strong wind is just blowing past us because of the strength that we possess, the peace that we possess. We can't be shaken, we can't be moved, because it's a serious storm and people are getting hit with this storm on a daily basis. Every day we're going through micro storms as well too, because we're not inviting the storm. We're surrounded around people that are storming within themselves. So you are enduring so much just on a day-to-day basis. There's so much storms that we come across every single day. And we may feel it a lot of times. You may come across individuals that you may start feeling lethargic because that storm that's brewing inside of them is so deep. It's so dark that the spirit of the Most High inside of you feel aggrieved immediately. So that's why, fellas, we got to stay prayed up. We got to make sure that we are not being tossed to and fro, that we're not being swayed left and right, and we must continue to be consistent in what we're doing. Pardon me. This is the same coffee in a nice mason jar French press for Sigmatic coffee. Today's ingredient that I placed in here was a little bit of milk thistle for the cleansing and the detoxifying of the liver. It's good to detox as well on this journey too. Real good. So, by all means, just know for a fact, if you continue to keep playing with it, the storm is always going to come back stronger. The storm is always going to hit you strong. You got to let the storm, you know how it takes a storm a few days before it passes through. And a lot of times when a storm is very strong, it could continue to travel, but the strength, the power of it tends to lessen and just travel through different areas of the world. Now, if you're going through it, you found a way to seize the storm. You found the right information, because we're talking about chastity, we're talking about seed retention, we're talking about no fat, we're talking about abstaining from the flesh. So when you found that information to help you, you found that insight, that motivation, that guidance to make you push for another week, push for another month, push for another year, and you allow that storm that's still leaving, you still feed it something. You still feed it, what's a good word? You raise the climate, because we look at it like a tropical storm. It's like a tropical storm, man. Once you play with it, that storm gonna spin around and whip you up, down, left, right. It's gonna beat you down, bro. So don't try to raise the temperature. Keep yourself nice and cool, like how you like taking those cold showers. Keep that storm at bay. Keep that storm cool and calm. Don't keep fueling it. Because right now, you're going through the rebuilding phase, reconstruction, and restoring. The reconstruction part is you adding the right pieces that you need, the right building blocks for you can now defend yourself spiritually. I find myself a lot of times before I go to bed, sometimes it'd be around 12, because my son, he wakes up, his sleep pattern, he fluctuates, so he wakes up at like 11. So give him something to eat, and I come out here and I hit the patio midnight, and I find myself praying before I go to bed. We gotta pray. We gotta pray in a way where a lot of times you may not feel like you want to pray. A lot of times you feel like, all right, I'm on this journey, everything is cool, I've been on this for a stretch, I'm consistent, I feel like nothing could surprise me anymore. That's how storms work. Sometimes storms pull up like a surprise. Like, hey, you ain't know I was right there brewing, but you wasn't consistent. You left a little room for me to come in and blow you around a little bit. You don't want to do that, fellas. I'm telling y'all, you got to be careful. Around the people that we're around too, around your company. Be careful. A lot of times you walk with such this strength, this calmness, that individuals that's storming, they can't even breeze past you. They can't breeze past you. They can't really hit you like that. They can't do it. They may think, they may try, but they can't hit you like that. And I'm not talking physically. I'm talking psychologically and spiritually, because that's the game that they play these days. Everything is psychological. That's how they try to get you. And a lot of people are doing things spiritually as well too that they ain't supposed to be doing. So you got to make sure that you really protecting yourself, really prayed up, making sure that you dedicated to this rebuilding, reconstruction, and this restoring phase, because it takes time to build back up that temple. It takes time. We know that the Messiah, we know for a fact that he spoke on the body about building it back up in 3 days. But he laid his life down and he said, I'll bring it back up in 3 days. Now the Pharisees, they were literally thinking about the temple, the synagogue that it took hundreds of years to build. They weren't looking at it from a spiritual perspective. So if it took our Messiah 3 days to rebuild his temple, to build that temple right back up, how long is it gonna take us if we continuously breaking down the temple and and going through the rebuilding process, then breaking it back down again when we didn't even allow it to reconstruct fully? Yo, this is like this is a real patient game. This body is like stocks and bonds. Like you really investing in yourself, and you gotta allow that to increase and increase. It's like a video game. What's the video games like Fortnite? You know how you gotta run around and break down houses and stuff, and then collect wood and bricks and stuff. So when you're in the midst of the battle, you can build a fortress. It's similar like that, but in this sense, it's sobriety, chastity, sheep retention, no fat, abstaining from wickedness of this world, abstaining from the flesh by all means. It's going to take time to continue to build, build, build. You know, your mind is constantly going through a rebuilding phase, reconstruction phase, so as well as your heart too. The heart of man is wicked. So a lot of those ways that we once had in the past, it could still be lingering dormant, but we got to make sure that the Most High is giving us not a heart of stone, but a heart of flesh. So that way, when He searches the mind and the heart, it's well connected and well balanced. So this body could be operating in harmony. All praises to the Most High. All praises. I hope you got something from this video. If you got something from this video, like the video, comment down below, share the content too. And if you're not a supporter, become a supporter right now. I highly appreciate it. And on that note, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.